everybody.
Welcome to the neighborhood, everyone. I'm just going to go ahead and take my shoes off now.
Is that why you wore a cardigan?
Yeah, I was wearing a cardigan, and I was trying to think of an opening, so I thought, Mr.
gosh.
Rogers, that'll work. So I have
that.
to take my shoes off before the episode, otherwise it's not proper. It's not a real Mr. Rogers intro.
Would you be mine?
Would you be our neighbor? Would you?
Would you be our Muppet?
Would you be our Muppet? Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I loved Mr. Rogers so much.
Classic
Did you see
show.
that Tom Hanks Mr. Rogers movie? What did you think of that?
I enjoyed it. I watch those things on so many different layers, and seeing Tom Hanks work is just always a joy for me. I go back to The Man with One Red Shoe, Joe versus the Volcano, Splash.
Joe versus the Volcano.
I'm a big Tom Hanks guy. I liked him for a long time.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed, if anything, whether the movie was good, bad, or anything else, I liked that there was a tribute to him. And that the idea of 10, 20 years from now, of kids that don't know who Mr. Rogers is, seeing that movie and maybe getting, I got kids, maybe my kids will like this.
Yeah.
And I know specifically that there are, kids in the 4 or 5-year-old age that are still enjoying Mr. Rogers. And I love the Daniel Tiger thing that they've done, where they've expanded the universe and kind of like brought it to modern times and everything. But the lessons are eternal. Mr. Rogers is eternal. It isn't just because the show was so great. Even with that, all this stuff I'd probably say. But the way the man was off the court, if you will, off the stage, the things that he fought for literally in front of our government and all that. Great guy. True, genuinely cared about children. Like, he backed it up.
Absolutely.
Good show.
Right, and it's crazy that it can transcend, like, generations.
Yeah.
And like you said, the lessons are eternal. I like that the movie, too, you got to see it behind the scenes of, like, who he actually was.
Yeah.
And I also like that they deep dive on the Mr. Rogers movie.
Thanks for joining the Mr. Rogers podcast.
I like in the movie how he wasn't like necessarily the main character, that he was almost like the supporting character. I think that was a good way to go about it, so you could see his story through like a different set of eyes. I think that was a really clever way to do it.
Good flick.
Yeah. If you want to know more about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you should check out the Puppet Masters of None episode about that.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great episode. They did a nice job of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those guys are all right. We should have them on sometime.
Yeah, we should talk about them every episode. Somehow.
It pays to be our friends, apparently. It really does.
And speaking of our friends, we want to shout out our 2 amazing Muppet heads that we are going to be sending a postcard. We love a good segue. So that is Will at Puppet Masters of None, and our good friend Asa Third-Eyed Lion is their name on Instagram, also a puppet person. Always sends us amazing information after every episode, and just absolutely love it. So we're going to be sending those to you guys. And as you might have noticed if you're watching, we have the Patreon hat at the end. I'm so excited.
It's very cool. It's very cool.
And once again, you don't know the slips in there, so it's kind of like a nice surprise.
It is. And I hope it's still surprising for you.
Yeah, it's still surprising. Yeah. Sometimes my memory is either like really niche good or goldfish bad. So.
I can relate to that. Thank you to you guys, to everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And thank you, Brie, for all the work you put into not only this, but the Patreon and everything. Very excited to see what develops from that and how much fun we can have, and the extended fun we can have with that.
And thank you for being here.
I'm a good guy, and one of these days Santa's gonna happen. I mean, I'm really banking on it. I really am. So I think
Sir James has a ring to it.
I like it. It does. There's something about it. No. It's my humble honor to be here and do this with you, with all of you. Love it. Let's get going.
Yeah, let's get into that hat. I think you pulled first last time.
Yeah. I have to call us out on something though real quick, because we're both so alike in so many ways, and one of the biggest ones is we can't take a compliment. So what do? We deflect. And this show is so good. We got hats. Oh yeah, well, right to the hats. Let's go right to the hats. Deflect. Did you start the first time or?
No, I think you did.
I think.
Because I
It's you.
Oh, I noticed last episode when I was editing, that you pulled twice. But
Did
that was
I?
my fault. Because you were like,
Oh.
is this you? And I was like, nope, that's all you. And
We get going.
because we got so caught up.
Yeah, and I just don't remember. So yeah. So and
We make mistakes.
Not for nothing. You guys could say something. I mean, you're here too. You could have said something.
As I was,
James, it's not. It doesn't work that way. What are you talking about? You can interact with it.
as I was editing, I hopped on the Patreon and I was like, oh, by the way, guys, I made a mistake.
I love the idea of if not that this would happen, but we're at some like Comic-Con and taking questions. Do you guys remember that one episode when James double dipped?
James double dip.
Were you aware of it? Was it?
The double dip scandal.
It's something that's going to haunt us.
Yeah,
It haunt the
truly.
pod.
That's why I brought it up.
We're just going to try to move on and do that as a group, as a family.
Please
and,
forgive us.
Hope for the most. Hope for the best.
Forgive us for
And
our
the most.
sins. I'm bearing my cross.
We should probably get
Okay.
going. We should probably...
Moving on. All right, so let's see if we are going to tie this up.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And we are with a fact.
Oh, man, this is so crazy. Thank you, Sweetums.
Oh, and hello, Ruby.
Ruby wanted to help out.
Welcome to the show.
The fifth Beatle.
Okay. You'll know Keith Moon as the famous drummer for The Who, but did you know that he was the inspiration for the iconic and chaotic Muppet Animal? Moon was known for his impulsive drumming and acting wild while performing. I think we brought that up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or, you probably brought that up because I don't really know my drummers that well.
Yeah, with my dad being the rock aficionado that he
Oh,
is and everything,
right.
and then working in classic rock for 9 years on a radio station, a classic rock radio station.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's little things that you find out and stuff that, for me, I like to add to songs when I... And, 103.3 WGLX, that was The Who with, Bob O'Reilly. Did you know that Keith Moon was the inspiration for, little things like that you throw in? But I think even without all of that, that's probably the least shocking fact that we'll ever hear on here.
Yeah.
If you know Keith Moon, if you know The Who at all, it makes perfect sense. And it's one of those things that's like right under your nose, like, oh, it's just right there.
Yeah, like as soon as you say it out loud, you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
I would
feel
say,
like
I would
know
throw in there an honorable mention of John Bonham from Led Zeppelin. I think that would have been another one. But
Yeah.
nobody was wilder, I think, I think for what it is, too, with Keith Moon. Because Animal is wild on the drums, but he's also wild off the drums.
Right.
I think John Bonham was maybe not as much as Keith Moon was, and I'm not. I shouldn't speak on this like I know him verbatim, like I've read their bios or anything. But
Yeah.
again, going in the history that I know of that stuff and that music, it makes perfect sense.
Wow, yeah, that's super cool. I love that they...
And a great drummer, by the way, too. Keith Moon, an amazing drummer.
Right. I love that they always take inspiration from other things and it incorporates it. It makes it feel that more like personal when you're watching it and relatable.
It's another one of the ways that you tie people in, that you pull people in. I find advertising difficult and selling myself incredibly difficult. But I know that it's my job, not only as an actor, to sell myself, because whether you like it or not, we're all brands nowadays. And
which is so, it's so heavy to think about.
It is.
It's
but
disturbing almost.
you are the CEO of Bria Inc. I am the CEO of James Inc. And we have to understand that as we go forward. It doesn't mean we have to handle ourselves any differently or treat the industry or our lives
change your
any different.
personality.
But the more you're aware of it, the more at least you have that buffer of this is a business, whatever I'm doing, and I gotta keep that in mind. I have to be able to protect myself. I have to look out for myself. When it comes to selling things on the radio, it's very important to me to be genuine, to be real. When I sell stuff, when you advertise with us, I don't just say our sponsor, I say our friends or something like that. When you recommend things to people, you don't say, hey, this sponsor recommended this to me. No, when's the last time Siri said something to you and you couldn't wait to tell your friends about it or something?
Right.
No. But when your friends tell you something, it's different. You're so right about this. The more, when you do those little touches, those little details and things being a little more personal.
Yeah.
Can you build a character from nothing, from the ether? Yeah, they did it with Gonzo pretty well. I don't know what Gonzo's inspiration was, or some of the characters, but I think it's just as meaningful and hits home if you can do that more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Touching on the real.
Yeah, just trying to always be yourself.
It's good.
Yeah. All
Ooh,
right.
All right.
Let's pull out of that hat.
Little
What could
rummage.
it be? What could it be?
Little rummage.
Little rummage. Well, there's still some like big names in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting too. We've gotten so many of the, I don't want to say like next tier ones, and even the tier after that. We've gotten so many of, I think, the third string, if you will. So yeah, let's see where this one takes us. Ooh, Constantine.
Oh, well, we can't do that one yet because you haven't seen Muppets
I was gonna
Most
say
Wanted.
he doesn't seem familiar to me.
I love Constantine, so I can't wait to do that one.
Okay, we'll put him to the side.
Yeah.
We will get to Constantine, and maybe that is my homework for tonight. Maybe that's,
that's
going back
actually
to
what
our
I was
off-air
gonna suggest to
conversation.
you. Yeah.
The which one?
Muppets Most Wanted.
That's one I'm dying to watch. Okay, yeah.
I love that one so much.
Really?
Matt and I like talk as Constantine almost every day, so you'll
You
get
think
that
of
when
it?
you
Send
watch
me a
it.
message. Remind me, because I should watch it. I apologize, everybody.
It's okay. We forgive you.
All right, let's
We're
see
all
what
friends.
it's gonna be. Oh, the newsman. Oh, the newsman.
Breaking news.
Oh yes, it's a little funny too because I wanted to actually start our podcast today with breaking news, or we interrupt this podcast for breaking news. I wanted to start that way, but because of the cardigan, I was like, well, I'll do that
It
next
has to be
time.
Rockers,
Now
yeah.
I can't do it next time because of this. Oh, that's too good though. That's
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
The
Well,
newsman.
How would you describe the newsman?
Like if you were fortunate to grow up with late 70s, early 80s, your leading anchor, your front newsman. He was a very typical of that, with a little flashier suits to me.
Yeah.
But was the kind of like right below Sandy Eagle. You know, right kind of below that.
They're in like that same vein as like No Nonsense, but they have their.
Somebody out there will correct this for me, I'm sure, but and I know I could look it up, but the it's almost as if Sam Eagle was first, and Sam got too big to do the news anymore, so he was needed in other sketches and everything.
Right.
They still needed the news guy, so they brought in the newsman.
You know, that would make sense with the cleverness of his name.
Yeah, right. For as creative as they could be, sometimes it was simple, and I gotta think that was intentional.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, one of those things that somebody could probably back up, but to me it seems okay. Well, for every time we're going to go complex, we're also going to be simple because it's again for kids. It is for
right. Maybe he sold his soul to the news, and now
Could have
he's
done
just
it. Could have done it.
the
Are
newsman.
we completely overthinking this too? Is his name New Man or News Man? Like that's his name.
Destined to tell the news.
He was gonna tell the. He came out of the womb like breaking news.
News.
I was
born.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, that was good. That was so good. How would you describe him?
Yeah, I think reiterating what I said, like a no nonsense facts, no fake news, straight facts. I think that he takes his coffee black.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he does have like that little bit of like punny zings, because you gotta have a little bit of that when you're in the news, like a catchy headline or something. But for the most part, I'd say no nonsense. Clock is always on.
It's interesting because his character was created, and it was at a time, now I'm thinking of it, before the 24-hour news cycle. And that changed news so drastically.
Yeah.
So incredibly.
I didn't even think of that.
So his character is kind of, newsmen back then were a little bit, especially your 5 o'clock news or your guy doing that, especially your morning news guy. I never thought about that either with this character, of when his news would be. Was he a morning news guy? Was he a midday news guy?
I feel like he is just always on.
Yep.
Like he's just waiting by the radio.
He's
waiting for another
24/7
story.
news guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He may be the reason we have 24-hour news
Honestly,
now.
yeah.
He was the inventor of it actually.
Keith Moon inspired the
Yeah,
animal,
yeah.
and the newsman inspired the change of news
It's the way it works. It's the way it works.
The Muppets influence the universe.
Kind of do. It's who came first, a chicken or an egg kind of thing.
Right.
Are we sure that there weren't Muppets before human beings? Are we positive? Are we?
It can't be proven.
I should not joke about that stuff in this day and age. Is somebody going to take that and run with
We're gonna get
it?
canceled.
Oh, God.
There's another
Muppet-lution.
conspiracy theory out there. We actually were born from Muppets. We were created in Nuts and
gosh.
Honeydew's lab.
I'm just seeing that like illustration of the apes
I
turning to
apologize. I
human.
am so sorry for my imagination, everybody.
Never apologize for that. I'm gonna start like a college course, a master class of Muppet-lution.
And it's just Charlie from Always Sunny's board. Like, it's always just
All the
yard
strings.
strings, yeah, just connecting all to Kermit.
Oh my gosh.
The first Muppet.
The first
Uh,
one. That could be the first lesson.
Yes,
The first
yes.
lesson. Okay.
A great character,
Yeah.
and going back to what I was saying before, and I don't mean this as a slight to any characters, because one of the things I love about Muppets, and I like about all these kind of things that are kind of have their area, their gray area, if you will, is we all have our favorites.
Yeah.
For everybody that loves a Kermit or a Gonzo, there's somebody out there, I guarantee, that the newsman is,
Oh,
if not their
yeah.
favorite, one of their favorite characters. So I
Definitely.
don't say it with any slight,
Yeah.
but I think even they would admit, not used as much, not as many
Yeah.
scenes or many movies as other characters.
Right. He has
It's-
his place.
It's fun to get these characters in.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting that not that we're getting them out of the way, but if we were planning this, we would want some of the bigger characters towards the end.
Yeah.
And it's getting more and more like that. That's just
Yeah.
interesting to me how it's working out that way.
Yeah, I actually counted the slips before you came over because I was curious, and well, including him, we have 18.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
It's really like dwindling down.
Oh, I don't know how to feel about that. Oh,
I know. After I counted, I was like,
yikes.
yes. We have plans for
We do.
what the Muppet 2.0.
Yes,
so
we
I'm
do.
not worried.
No.
I've also
and
saved all of our like slips.
I wouldn't be surprised too if, 20 years from now we're a Muppet 5.0 and we get like 2 subscribers, but we're still doing it. We're still going.
No, it doesn't even matter because we're having fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh,
I also wish I could pull off like a pantsuit. Like he
Oh,
does.
God, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just he's snappy. He's a
He is
snappy
a
dresser.
great dresser.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a bit, and I don't know if this is apt or not, or accurate even, but of Ted Koppel. I feel
Okay.
fortunate that I kind of got to grow up in an age. To me, there was I'm not saying I think people throw around the golden age of this and all that all the
Yeah.
time, but we had 3 news anchors that, in my opinion, I felt like as a young person that you could count on, that you could trust, and everybody had kind of this, they liked NBC News, ABC News, CBS News, but you had Jennings, Koppel, Rather, you had these 3 great newsmen that I felt like you could count on, and even to this day, I look at Ted Koppel or Dan Rather and some of these guys that are still with us, the ones that are. Peter Jennings is gone, that still doing good news and still doing good interviewing and reporting. Not to say that you don't have decent reporters now or decent reporting. That's the last thing we need is not to support news and
Yeah.
good reporting. Good reporting, one thing that Henson always tried to do, I believe, and I think it's evident, is give some truth with things.
Yeah.
Did it help with what we were talking about before, about making things more real and adapt and relatable? Yes. But it also gave kids trust and belief in certain things, in certain
Yeah.
institutions, that whether it was realized or not, I think was there. Well, every kid is a sponge, and you're seeing, when I'm watching Sesame Street, I see that I can trust this, I can trust that.
Right.
The alphabet is reliable, the little things. It may not seem
Yeah.
like a big deal to us as adults, but
Right.
reliability.
They're foundational
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah, and so here we are with a newsman that as kids we're seeing, and is he silly, is he funny? Yes, just like with Sam the Eagle. But there's somebody, they're giving me important information. They're giving me information, maybe important or not,
Right.
that's here or there, but information.
Yeah.
Where we gather information is vital to society, is so important to life. If we ever needed any more example of it, the last 10, 15 years have been a pretty good one.
Yeah.
So the newsman is a fun character, but I think he also has his important
Yeah.
place in the
Oh
Muppet
yeah,
universe.
definitely. I like that a lot.
And that's James's overthinking moment. Thank you for joining us for that.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah.
I also like the symmetricalness of his face reminds me of Anderson Cooper,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
my
Oh,
favorite caster.
Yeah, gotcha, yeah.
I used to have this picture of, this is like a personal inside look at my phone. I used to have this picture of Anderson Cooper with Big Bird on my
Oh,
phone.
nice, perfect. Oh, it all comes full circle.
It really does. I just have like a deep appreciation for Anderson Cooper
Oh,
as
yeah.
a person.
Yeah, one of the modern news guys, I think,
Yeah.
that's not only trying to do it right, but also trying to have a career outside of that,
Mhm.
which is interesting to me too, because that wasn't something that really people did back then.
Yeah,
You
right.
didn't see Peter Jennings hosting game shows, you didn't see that kind of stuff. It's
Right,
you didn't see
yeah.
Walter Cronkite doing Let's Make a Deal. Although that'd be great. That'd be great to see. I want to see those outtakes. I love the idea of Walter Cronkite's agent, like, hey, we gotta do a game for you.
Right. Just trust me.
It's called the Newlywed Game. You can remember Walter Cronkite hosting the Newlywed Game. I take it back. We should have had that.
Oh man, what could have been? Another universe. Well,
I think it's you in this one.
yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, it is.
Now I'm
yeah.
gonna be second guessing
I
myself.
me too. I had to, that's what I was doing, and I didn't mean to jump to
No,
go
no,
right
no.
to that, but I had it, so I wanted to.
Yes. So this Muppet hat with the newsman. What kind of this is a good one for you. What kind of conspiracy theory do you think this Muppet would believe? Do you believe in any conspiracy theories?
No, I can't say I do.
Oh, that was a fast answer.
Yeah, I feel
No
it.
nonsense.
And I actually feel a little boring in some ways about that because it does seem like even some of the people I value their intelligence very much, even they have some stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've mentioned before, I've never met anybody smarter than my mother, and I mean that to get points, but also I can back it up. I generally do believe that.
Yeah.
And
She's a very smart person.
even my mom, has I wouldn't say conspiracy theories, but she's open to ghosts and to aliens and some of those things. She doesn't just dismiss it.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I feel like there are things that we don't know that are like, kept away from the general public. So there's like things we don't know. On a joking note, when my now husband, when he and I were just friends, but like we obviously liked each other, but we didn't say anything that we liked each other. I was living in a different state and we were doing our first like video call, and we thought we would play Hangman for like
nice.
our hangout and talking.
Mm-hmm.
So I was planning my I was planning like what my sentence was gonna be or my phrase, and I was living with my mom and she was like, "What are you gonna do for your first one?" And it was the 9/11 was an inside job.
Oh jeez.
And she was like, "Ann, you're gonna scare him away." I was like, "Well, I guess I'll know if he really likes
Yeah,
me."
yeah.
And now we're
good sign.
married.
And happily ever after.
It was a joking matter.
Yeah.
That I said
yeah.
that, but
It is a good test. That is to me, that is one of the best signs of being able to tell if you do have something with somebody.
Yeah.
Is that if your sense of humor parallel.
Yeah.
Actually, I agree. That is actually a really good test.
But do I think that he believes in any conspiracy theories?
Mhm.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
kind of I think it might be a no, because he does seem, it's the facts or nothing kind of.
Well, it may vary
person.
between networks or papers and all that kind of stuff
Oh, sure.
nowadays. I think with this particular newsman,
Yeah.
I think that no, he's very no nonsense facts, just the facts, man. Very
Yeah.
Mr. Dragnet, very that.
I think so too. I think Gonzo is more of our conspiracy theorist.
If any Muppet,
Muppet.
yeah, if
I
any
could see
Muppet.
Scooter.
I was
being-
just gonna say Scooter. I
Really?
swear to God, I was just gonna say Scooter. Oh my
He
gosh,
just
that's
gives off
weird.
conspiracy theory
He
vibes.
does. He kind of does.
Maybe it's the glasses.
And he's quiet. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's kind of there's
got
a
a lot
lot
of
we
time to
don't know
think.
about Scooter. There's
Right.
a lot we don't know.
Yeah. He is a Real Housewives fanatic and
Yes,
conspiracy
going
theorist.
back. Oh, I love
believe
it.
it.
Oh, good call. Nice.
I
Nice.
love Scooter.
Yeah, Scooter's great. Shout
Yeah.
out Scooter.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Scooter. Well, let's put him in another situation.
Yeah, that was good. Let's see, Mr. Newsman, where are we sending?
Where are we gonna put you?
Would you take a road trip with this Muppet?
Ooh, okay.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, interesting.
Hmm.
I feel like he would be a Muppet to decline an invitation if it doesn't seem like it would suit him.
Yeah.
Like, not in a rude way, but he'd be like, "No, thanks," or something like that.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
So I feel like it would have
Gotta
to be. I feel like it'd have to be a road trip to like DC where there's like a lot of museums or something. I don't know what he would be into.
I do feel, I agree with you. I feel like it would have to be a tie-in. It's not a road trip, it's a job. We're going to go
Right.
to this place so you can
Yeah.
report on it and maybe trick him into
Right,
going on a vacation
yeah.
or a trick. And this is starting to all of a sudden sound very at home to me. This is not like hit home very close. That's because honestly, I was thinking of that the other day. Like the only way to get me to truly take a vacation might be to trick me. Maybe to, like somehow
Hey, there's a work conference.
James, your next character, he goes on vacation. So we need you to do some
Right.
real deep,
Some
because I've never
practice.
been on vacation. I would have to do some research
Right.
on that. I
might
genuinely
have to
would. I would.
Get in touch with your agent and coerce this.
It is so dang sad how true all of this is. I need help.
Help him.
I think with him, I think that a road trip to a big landmark, the Grand Canyon or something
yeah.
like that. Maybe something like that too.
Breaking news coming from the Grand Canyon. I think that I would like to see the newsman in like vacation mode.
Yeah.
Because maybe he's never been able to like break out of his job. So maybe he's actually super fun to be around or something.
One of my favorite hats and my favorite things about this is doing that, is imagining these Muppets in
Yeah.
these situations that we've either never seen them in or that we never would see them in.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to do that with people in general. And characters in general, even movie characters.
Yeah.
We've done a little of that too, and it's just fun to do. So
Yeah.
I like the idea of now how he would be in the ride though.
I was just thinking that because he could be slightly annoying. What if he announced every sign that came
You
your
know
way?
he would. You know
Breaking news.
he's. This is his thing. This is all he's got.
Right.
So
He's programmed to be
2.8 miles have to turn left. Like yeah, and
you have the
especially if you're
GPS.
yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. And he's probably getting mad at the GPS.
Right,
he's like
he's
competing
beating
with the GPS and
Oh,
everything. He's
no.
like, well, that could get a little quick.
Yeah.
8 hours later.
Maybe we plan something else to do
yeah,
too.
yeah. Or maybe a plane ride.
Yeah,
maybe take
we'll
a plane.
take a plane ride.
I'm just gonna sleep. I'm just going to sleep for the ride. You go ahead and entertain yourself. That's good.
We get to pull out of the new hat now.
Oh, that's so much fun.
Our first Patreon
And you
hat.
get to do the first to pull from it. That's fitting.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very fitting.
I have handwritten these, so I'm sorry if you
cool.
can't
Oh, I like
read
that.
it super well.
That's even better. I'm sure it'll be fun. And if your penmanship's bad, it's just another check mark for us. It's just another. Your mother has great penmanship, from what I remember, though.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah, great penmanship.
I didn't get that, but good job, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So this says, this Muppet crashes your birthday party. What do you do? From the Third-Eyed Lion.
Oh,
Thank you for submitting
Thank you,
so much.
Third Eye. Thank you.
And what would you do if they crashed your birthday party?
Wow. I love this. I love
Yeah.
For one, I've had like out of my 26, I mean 26, because I'm an actor and all actors are 26 to
Oh, right,
27.
right.
No, 46. I've had maybe 3 or 4 birthdays, parties. Like I have not had many, and I've never had a surprise party or anything. So just kind of trying to throw myself into that situation. I love the idea of him breaking news again. I'm really leaning on that. Jumping into the birthday party like you're about to blow out the candles, and he's like, "Will they blow out? Will they? Will they? Won't they?" You know, and, like you're interrupting
Right,
like
his
traditional things.
Yeah, and his surprise like blows out your own candles. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. You're going to do the pin on the tail on the donkey thing or something, and he's ruining it because you say
Right.
he's too far away. Well, now I know it's too far away.
Right.
I like the idea of him at the birthday party though. I like that.
Yeah. Do you think he'd bring a nice element to the birthday party?
I do. I also and I don't know why I'm doing this to him. It seems so mean, but I don't feel like he brings a gift. I feel like I don't
Breaking
know why.
news! I forgot a gift.
Yeah, something like that. What about you?
Yeah, I think it would be something similar where like it's just the most exciting or crazy news that he has to come to like every house. So he's got to tell everybody
that's a good one. Yeah.
this news. So like he doesn't stay long,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
maybe he like swipes a slice of cake or something like that.
Yes.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah. I do think he has not a sleazy side to him, but definitely a side of him that's
Yeah.
like, definitely we'll do things
like,
off
technically I'm a
book,
guest.
off,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I do deserve a piece of cake.
Yes. Every guest earns a piece of cake.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes. Let them eat cake.
Yeah, Yeah, I think he would be an alright addition to a birthday party.
Oh, yeah,
If maybe
yeah.
there's like adults at the birthday party, because then he can like talk to the adults about news.
Because, I mean, why, if you would be watching or listening to this and not a Muppet head or a Muppet person or something, that'd be very interesting to me, but, so
Yeah.
to just take that as an assumption that you are, I have a hard time thinking any Muppet wouldn't be a great addition
Yeah.
to the party.
In one way or another.
It's what happens then, when you throw them into that situation,
Yes.
that really makes it a really
The
fun question,
aftermath.
great
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, thank you so much for submitting that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's I not only think that the newsmen would. I think all of the Muppets we have had on so far as our guests
Yeah.
would make a great addition.
Yeah.
And I think Third Eye would be a great addition too. I think it'd be great at any birthday party. I'm just gonna make an assumption there that it'd be
Yeah.
a great at any birthday party.
Yeah, they actually have their own puppet named Asa, and they do very cool clips on YouTube and on Instagram, so you should check that out.
Yeah, I have to do a more deep dive. I
Yeah.
gotta do a much more deeper dive on
We've
that.
got awesome Muppet puppet friends all around.
I was talking to my mother, and talking to my mother, and we were talking about different things, the weather and stuff. And I brought up the podcast, and she's like, "Oh, I love the podcast," and I'm like, "That's great. I'm so happy you like it." And one of the things that came up was how wild it is that all the different people that you guys are going to meet with us coming up in our next couple of episodes, and you've already met the boys from Puppet Masters of None, and who knows who else is going to join us.
Yeah,
It has been so wild to just meet different people that
Yeah,
are
that's-
all Muppetettes.
yeah, that's been like the most fun part to me, is just like being a part of the Muppet community and how welcoming it's been. So
Our,
kind and nice.
Our world is becoming, if it isn't already here, I would have a hard time imagining it isn't, but we're all in all being more and more, we're all more mutts, if you will. And that used to be a bad term, but I think it's a good term, and I love dogs. So the fact that we are all a mix of different, nationalities and creeds and all these things
Yeah.
are great. I love that this universe, we're all mups.
Yeah,
We're all mups.
yep, we're all
We're all
Muppety
mups. Yep, we're all mups.
I love that.
And thank you for being fellow mups with us and
thank
coming
you
along for
so
another journey.
much. Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for joining in to see our first Patreon
Mhm.
ad and for our awesome Muppet heads. Oh, it's so exciting.
Can't wait for another episode already.
We're both wearing blue.
How do we keep doing that? Well, I don't know how
I
we
don't
keep
know.
doing that. That's crazy. I love it though.
Yeah, that's
We might be wearing it the same next episode even.
I don't know.
It's very cartoon character. Like I like that too. Sometimes
I
we
love
have the
that.
same clothes in
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah,
It's fun.
we appreciate that you guys play along with
Inside
that.
Easter egg, yeah. That
Yes.
they must have recorded those together.
Well, please get excited for our next episode where we
Mhm.
are talking to Ribbit Rhett, who is the Guinness World Record holder for the largest Muppet collection. We are so excited to talk to him.
Cannot wait to talk to Red. That's going to be a blast. And we have another great guest after that too.
Yeah, and we'll tell you more about that later.
Yeah, nice tease, nice job. Yeah, you're good at this. You should do this for more often.
Right, maybe. I'll think about it.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep, take care of yourselves and we'll talk to you soon.